Hi Aquarius, welcome to your week ahead horoscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Aquarius, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Now I don't know why, but this week I do get the feeling that there are going to be quite a few reversals of fortune. Now, if you're an Aquarius, sun, moon or an ascendant, you know that this year, not just for the fixed signs, but specifically for Aquarius, has been no joke, right? It's been quite an intense year for us. Now, that being said, I kind of get the feeling that this week is the turning point. This is the week where we're going to start to see, I just had one card jump itself clean out. All right, this week is where we are going to see not only a reversal of fortunes, but this is that moment at which things start to get better. Things really start to ease up. So from here on in, imagine now, like, it's kind of like how we lose the daylight, right? And then right up to December 21st, the light gets smaller and you know, it gets darker quicker, Northern Hemisphere, obviously. And then from the 21st, it starts to build back up. This feels very much like this week for Aquarian people. This feels like the week where you kind of hit your lowest point. Now, this is going to hit in two different ways, right? It may come with a crisis point. We've got the eclipse on the 19th, right? Where there's no getting away from it. This may be that catalytic moment that just sparks everything off, and then from here on things really start to improve. I don't know why, but that's the feeling that I get from this. The second thing that I want to say is the Wheel of Fortune and the Moon have both been very active this week, which tells me that there are going to be a lot, because in ancient astrology, the Moon actually ruled fortune. And she ruled the body, the physical self, and it also ruled finances and materials. There's something about this week that really feels like we're going to see quite a few dips in various places, but we're also going to see quite a few come-ups from this point onwards. So for all Aquarians, I kind of feel like this is the point at which we hit that final dip. And then from here, everything's just going to start to ascend. So hang on to your breeches, because we're about to start to see some really nice improvements, all right? For your actions and options this week, of course, we've got the Six of Wands. I am here for it. This actually speaks to the determination. It actually speaks to the victory and success that accompanies perseverance, right? And like I said, we've been through the mill this year. Yes, we've still got the final pass of Saturn and Uranus to do their thing, and there's not going to be any getting away from that. But I really do feel that this week is the turning point. Now, because your actions and options is about what you do, this is about you charging after something. It's about you going for something. And I got to be honest with you, there's a feeling behind this that even you are kind of like, if this happens, if I do this thing, and it works and it goes through, I'm going to be over the moon. But at this point, it's a hop, skip and a jump, right? There's a feeling of, it's, do you know what I mean? Like it's a gamble. It's going to be a gamble, but I think this is a gamble that really pays off. So whatever you set into motion from this week onwards, just know that the results are going to be great. For your communications and conversations, you have the Three of Cups. With the Wheel of Fortune, yeah, I'm going to say it. This is blast from the past energy. I'm not sure that this is specifically an ex though. For some of you it might be, but for a lot of you this looks like an old friend. This is maybe a friend that you were really close to at one point, maybe a friend that you haven't seen in a long time, maybe a friend who, I don't know, excuse me, maybe the lines of communication broke down for any number of reasons, but there is a sense here that someone from your, because the Three of Cups isn't just about good get-togethers and stuff, it's also about reunions. And because you've got the Wheel of Fortune here, there's this feeling that something is coming back around, something or someone is coming back around. For some of you, for those of you that are employed, this could be an old colleague that you used to work with is coming back to you with an idea or something that they want to work with you on, or maybe their company is hiring and you were the first person that came to mind. There's something here where an old, the past in terms of your work is coming back up. And it's really funny that this is coming up in the cards, because today when I was tidying up my room, I literally was thinking about the last job that I ever had and all the people that I worked with, and all the wonderful people that I worked with and some of the not so wonderful people that I worked with, and it was just really interesting that it came up. And now that I see this, I'm like, I wonder if I'm going to hear from somebody from that place. Now, that being said, for those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, this is old business, old clients. This is reconnections that are coming in. This is new money coming through old contacts, which could be very, very nice. And it might just give you the boost that you need to go after something that you're hoping to chase after. Like I said, there's this real sort of optimistic energy about these cards, and there is a feeling of it's kind of like it is a hop, skip and a jump, right? There's no doubts about the fact that some of what you're doing this week is going to be a gamble, but it's a gamble that absolutely pays off. I'm really excited about this, and I don't know why. For those of you that are retired or no longer working, that intensity or that stuff that's been going on with family, with friends, with partners, with work, well, not work because you're retired, but with all of the stuff, right, that you're interacting with that's been intense, this could be a great week where you finally feel like, you know what, I can laugh again. All right, nice. For your love and relations, you have the World card. So yes, in some way, shape or form, for all Aquarians, expect to have some sort of interaction with an ex, a reconnection with an ex. Maybe you get an I miss you text, maybe you get a message on social media. There's something here where you are reconnecting to, for some of you as well, this could be a friendship circle or persons that you were friends with through an ex-partner that come back into your life now. And that can be really nice. Sometimes when a relationship ends, it's not just the relationship that ends, it's the bonds that we forge in that relationship, right? Because we might say, oh, well, I don't know if it's relevant or if it's appropriate for me to talk to this person still. All that kind of stuff could come up this week. Now, for those of you that are single, if you are meeting someone this week, if you're connecting with someone, it's definitely going to be somebody that's older than you. And for a select few of you Aquarians that are single, it looks like you may have a choice. You might have a choice between people that are, between somebody that you've known and dated before and somebody completely new, right? So you might have a choice on your hands. It's possible. That being said, for those of you that are single, if you are meeting someone, this is very likely to be somebody that's either very different from you or has a very different background, a very different upbringing, and there is definitely an age gap. Either they will be, 5+ years older than you or 5+ years younger than you. Very possible with the World card. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this is really nice, right? The relationship not only turns a corner, but it's going on that upward trend, right? I don't know why, but I just feel, yes, I'm not going to sit here and say to you there's not going to be any more intensity between now and 2022, but I really, and obviously because we've got this last final Saturn-Uranus square, but I just get this feeling that this week it's like, if this week is really intense, just know that this is like that final dip. From here on in, it's literally all upward, right? The wheel is definitely turning this week, and I get that feeling for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments as well. And then for your money and materials, you've got the 7 of Cups. So no big purchases this week. This is not a week to go crazy with your money or your cash. This is not a week for you to, be splashing it out like rice. Everything else is going really well, so let that be a consolation for you. The fact that you've got the Seven of Cups means that this week you might be aware of where you're spreading yourself too thin financially, or where maybe you're ready to go in a different direction that you hadn't considered financially previously. So just something to be aware of this week. But all in all, like I said, there's new money coming in, there's new opportunities, there's reconnections to the past, but beneficial ones this time. So that's really nice. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is going to be all of your reproductive system. Look after yourself in that regard. And for your home and environment, the Seven of Cups is basically saying to you, unless it's something that you absolutely need, you don't need more stuff, all right? Don't convince yourself that you have to have, this wonderful chandelier, or, well, I need a new couch. Do you though? Really? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you absolutely need it, then yes, you need it, right? But this week, I think you're going to become very clear on what is a want and what is a need. And when you know those two things, you can start to really get to grips with what you spend, all right? For your eclipse message, you have the gate 30 and holding, right? So a dream, a wish, a hope, a desire, something that you want in that sort of pit of who you are is possible now, right? And this eclipse is really going to show you that. And when it comes, when it shows up, when the opportunity to have this thing, presents itself this week or from this week onwards, you need to be ready to hold on to it with everything that you have, with all of your might. One thing that I tell you about Aquarius people, I'm an Aquarius sun, as many of you know. Maybe I only speak for myself here. You guys will have to let me know in the comments. Aquarian people very rarely dip into their reserves. They manage to deal with everything with just the usual amount. And because it's an altruistic sign and a friendship sign and all of the rest of it, and logical and cool and emotionless apparently, people don't really view Aquarius as a strong sign. That's a mistake. Right, so that might, that grit, that determination that you have on those internal planes and levels, get ready to use that, right? Because there's going to be something that shows up for you this week that you're going to be like, yeah, this is mine, this is for me, and I'm not letting go of it, all right? With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.